Wait, has anything weird happened this week? Do we have a show? Oh, we do. We do have a show.
Hi, everybody, it's weird.
This is like crazy being here.
Weird.
Really weird tales.
Bigfoot eats out of my trash.
Well, I got a great show for you today with some wonderful weird stuff.
Hi, friends. I'm Scott, and this is the show we call What a Weird Week, where we go back through the news of the week and we pick out the fun stories and the odd ones, the weird stories, not the serious stories. Nope. And you can get everything we talk about in more detail on the show notes page, which is at shownotes.page. That's where all the show notes are and everything about our podcast and all that. Shownotes.page. Here's our episode, first published Friday, February 6, 2026.
Number 10.
Number 10 is the figure skater from Spain who is going to the Olympics, right? And finds out days before the Olympics that his routine, his figure skating routine, is in violation of copyright. And he cannot do the routine. Now, days before the Olympics, I'm sure there's still plenty of time to learn a new routine. Oh, what? No, it takes a long time to learn a routine. Oh, what a terrible thing to learn days before the Olympics, that you can't do your routine, because the whole Minions theme of the routine, well, the Minions and Gru himself said, no, you cannot do the routine. It's almost like I've never seen a Minions movie. When you hear my Gru routine, my Grutine, if you will. Hey, what? Here's a quote from the story we linked to. This is from Tomas, the skater. Finding this out last Friday, so close to the biggest competition of my life, was incredibly disappointing. The issue is the music. The music accompanying Tomas was not cleared, and that was the issue that got in the headlines. But we have an update from CNN. This is a bit of their coverage.
Saga, who has performed his Minions program throughout the current figure skating season, wearing a yellow t-shirt and their famous blue dungarees, found out this week that the music hadn't been cleared by Universal Studios.
2 hours later.
In a great turn of events, Sabate said that Universal had granted him permission to use the music at the Winter Olympics.
That clip from CNN, and we'll link to that in the show notes, or you can click shownotes.page. Looks like it ends on a good note for Tomas. Best of luck to Tomas and all the athletes at the Olympics doing the things. While some of us are home eating donuts, watching you do the things. Congratulations on all your achievements.
Number 9.
Number 9 is an odd one, and it is an uplifting one, which that's a nice combination for our program. 10 years ago, there's this music promoter here in Canada. His name's Marcus. He's in a thrift store, and he comes across this vinyl record, and there's not a lot of information on the record, and he's curious, so he buys it for $4. Now, 10 years ago here in Canada, $4 or 2 toonies could get you a big bag of chips and a 2-liter bottle of pop, sometimes a chocolate bar, too. Maybe a Canadian classic, a coffee crisp, or perhaps a box of Smarties. Canadian references. Anyway, he takes it home, listens to the record. It's a live record. It's obvious that it wasn't like a major release or whatever. Seems to be an independent situation. So he takes years trying to track down who this band is, and finally does. A couple of years into it, he finds out who the band is. It's a Canadian band called The Glass Cage. This record, it wasn't a bootleg, but it was like bootleg quality, a live recording that somebody had pressed into vinyl. You know what? We'll play a clip here coming up. I don't think we'll get a copyright strike. Marcus, the music promoter, and Norm from the Canadian garage band from the 60s, The Glass Cage, Marcus and Norm make contact. And fast forward to now, 10 years later, 10 years since Marcus bought the record is getting an official release. It's been 58 years since the band played that music. The Glass Cage is getting an album release. This is from CTV News, Vancouver.
And it instantly hit me like a brick.
It was a visceral rush, Marcus says, that compelled him to consult with music historians and scour the internet to find out who he was hearing.
Anybody know this? And it was just no.
And after 2 years worth of no's on an obscure garage band blog, Marcus finally found a yes.
This guy goes, hey, that's my record.
That was Norm Roth, now a warehouse manager who hadn't heard his songs in more than 50 years.
I'm flabbergasted. Yeah, I really am. When I was 18 years old. I'm 77 now.
Marcus, who's a veteran music promoter, spent the next 8 years teaming up with professionals to digitally refurbish the recording and package it along with a book documenting the band's role in the local music scene before preparing to release it globally. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
We'll link to that video report from CTV News Vancouver. They don't play that much of the Glass Cage in the piece, but cool vibe, the Glass Cage. And congratulations on having their album released.
Number 8.
Number 8 is this fellow. Wait. They've got a song in the background. An Aerosmith song is playing. We'd get a copyright strike. Here's my impersonation. Hi, I'm Dave. Thank you very much. David Record Breaker Rush. Now they refer to him a lot of times as serial Guinness World Record Breaker David Rush because he can't stop himself. I'm pretty sure he just continues to break world records. This time it was balancing a ladder on his chin for 19 minutes and change. Sometimes he does silly world records or, fun ones that seem attainable. And I say, let's try that one this weekend. But I don't think balancing a ladder on your chin for 19 minutes, I don't think you can dive into this one without some training and some considerations about safety. We'll link to the video, and maybe you'll be inspired to break your own world record. You can click the show notes.
Number 7.
Number 7 is another inspiring world record set by an 11-year-old juggler. 11 years old. Juggler from Wisconsin, United States of America. 11-year-old Caleb has the world record for using a Pindaloo. And if you haven't seen one of those, I just got my dad one for Christmas this past Christmas. It's shaped like a U. It's a tube in the shape of a U. And there's a juggling ball in there. You sort of swing this Pindaloo, and the ball comes flying out, and then you catch the ball. And it travels through the U-shaped tube and out the other side. Sort of makes a circle. Caleb did 51 ball rotations in 30 seconds. 30 seconds on the clock, and you grab that Pindaloo. You have to master the Pindaloo, first of all, a lot of practice, and then concentration, and you can't misfire, or world record attempt over. And Caleb got 51 ball rotations in 30 seconds, world record.
Number 6.
Number 6 is the lady in Pennsylvania who was trapped inside a car wash. Maybe you saw this. I saw this headline all over the place, the late night shows and stuff. So Pennsylvania, United States of America, lady is inside the car wash. A lot of times now it's all automated at the car wash and you type in the code, you go in, the door closes, whatever. So something malfunctioned and the lady was trapped inside the car wash for nearly an hour. And I don't want to make light of it because I would find this either hilarious or terrifying. I'm not sure how I would react. Maybe hilarious, but it's possible I would be terrified. Some of the greatest B-movie horror scenes take place inside a car wash. Double check me on that. So the lady, after about an hour, she's able to call the police. She had her phone and the police were able to free her after about an hour of car wash captivity. Later on, the car wash owner gave her some gift cards. And would you go back to the car wash? Would you use those gift cards or would you re-gift them? I'm not sure how I'd react to that either. I'd be scared to get trapped in the car wash again. I mean, what are the odds? But still, getting trapped in a car wash twice? The odds are probably steep. I'd still be scared.
Number 5.
Number 5 is PG13. So please, if the children are listening, you might not want them to hear this one. Kids, please put on your earmuffs. I'm going to try to get through it without getting too saucy. Just the facts. Here we go. This is about that hospital in France who had the security alert. They had to call in the bomb disposal experts. A fellow arrived seeking medical treatment. He had a World War I artillery shell stuck somewhere. And the medical professionals were able to remove that from the fellow, and it was declared safe by the bomb disposal experts. End of story. The article we link to says it's not that uncommon to find World War I artillery shells in France. The other parts of the story may be not as common, but to find old artillery in France, that is something that still happens. Also, the hospital was in Toulouse, France. If it's okay with you, I don't want to do any jokes or anything. I'm just glad everyone's okay, and let's move on to number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4 is the giant IKEA hot dog you can buy in certain parts of the world now at IKEA. You can get a 1/2 meter long hot dog. So imagine a meter stick, cut it in half. That's how long the wiener is. Or if you don't do metric, about 18 inches-ish. giant hot dog available at certain IKEAs. I think right now it's in the United Arab Emirates. I'm just wondering now, so I don't have an IKEA near me. I would have to drive hours to another province to go to IKEA. I think I would make the drive. Would you make the drive for a delicious giant hot dog? We'll put that one on the poll. Number 3 is scary research about horses and their sense of smell. I don't know. Maybe it's not scary. Maybe we can harness this. Horses don't harness this. What? Did I just harness this? I didn't even mean to do that. New research shows that horses can smell human fear through our sweat. Now, when you're scared of them and they smell that, they also get scared. They catch your fearfulness and they want to avoid you. That's my non-scientific summation of that research on the horses. It's kind of interesting how they did the study. They collected sweat from people watching scary movies, and then they collected sweat from people watching comedies and gave the horses a whiff. And the horses did not like the scary movie sweat. Number 2 is the little girl who made headlines after knocking over a tower of beer coasters, a tower of 63,000 beer coasters. A fellow made this tower, spent hours and hours, 120 some hours building a tower. He wants to get in the Guinness Book of World Records. The viral video that was going around is security footage of a little gaffer pulling out one of the beer coasters, and the whole thing comes crashing down. But it's not exactly what it seems. First of all, if you can't click the video, the fellow was taking beer coasters and making little triangles, like you would make a house of cards. That's what he was doing with the beer coasters. And part of it collapsed under its own weight. So then he just invited people to take one out. Who's going to knock this over? Take one beer coaster out, sort of like Jenga. And so the little gaffer did that, and the whole thing came crashing down. The video, without the context, people are like, oh, that youngster, the kids these days, whatever. But we'll link to the video if you click shownotes.page. Number 1. The number 1 story this week, a little bit Valentine's-y. I don't know if that's triggering, but trigger warning, Valentine's, romance, and human cranes. This is the Dave & Buster's restaurant chain engagement ring human crane promotion. Now, where I live, we don't have a Dave & Buster's, but I think I understand it. Arcade games and fun games for grown-ups and delicious food. That's Dave & Buster's? And the human crane, I had to look it up. I didn't know. It's like a claw machine, sort of, except you're the claw. You get strapped in. So let me get this straight. You go to Dave & Buster's. I assume it's licensed. You go to Dave & Buster's. You have a couple of wobbly pops. Maybe a delightful plate of pasta, fettuccine, and then you get strapped into the human crane device? Is that really how it goes? And you are the claw, you get dipped into the prize thing, and you grab whatever you can. You get a mitt full of prizes. Is that how the human crane thing works at Dave & Buster's? And nobody vomits? Is that how it works at Dave & Buster's? I'm very intrigued by this. For Valentine's season, the season of romance, select Dave & Buster's locations will be putting a $15,000 diamond engagement ring as one of the prizes if you play the human crane. If you are the claw in this human crane claw machine thing, you might grab yourself a mitt full of engagement ring. The press release does note that many people get engaged on Valentine's Day or in this Valentine's season, and what a wonderful memory you will have made by eating a giant plate of fettuccine, vomiting a little in the human crane machine, but then scooping up that engagement ring and saying, baby, let's lock it down. And by it, I mean the rest of my fettuccine, but also our love. Let's lock down our love, and also let's get me cleaned up because I got a lot of fettuccine on me. We'll stop there, and I thank you for checking out our program. Again, it's called What a Weird Week. If you're new here, you can check out our show notes on the show notes page, which is at shownotes.page. And next Friday, we come back with 10 more weird stories from the news on What a Weird Week.